Alright, Earthers, this will be a video about all of the important hunter tunnels. So I did say important, I'll be glossing over a little bit. But, um, this will be like the most important hunter tunnels that you need to know about. So first of all, I'll just get these in general in kind of one fell swoop. So there is a ring of hunter tunnels around the safe zone, specifically around the hub, if you want to. Like, if the safe zone technically is within these gold blocks, this little room, then the hub is kind of the area around that. There's a lot going on here in Spectator, but so you can see this is the Hunter Tunnel here. So this is what they all look like. They've got this, I think it's smooth basalt or something, and soul soil. So they've all got the same exact appearance. The reason they have soul soil is because hunters have soul speed on their boots at the start of the game, so they can run super fast on these blocks, so they can get around really quickly in the tunnels. Also, a note about the hunter tunnels is at any of the entrances, so right here, for example, if a seeker tries to walk in, they will just be teleported right back out. So at this specific entrance, they would be teleported to like this block or something every time they walk in. So it might seem like you're lagging or something, but it's because the game isn't going to let you step into the tunnel because you're not a hunter. So those are some important notes. So you can see in Spectator here the path that this Hunter Tunnel ring follows, and it has several entrances. One of them's right here, which could be important. Like if you're running right here and you jump down right there, then you can get into the hub area very quickly. If you run up this way, so for example, there's that. Some really crucial ones is this one that comes into this the main entrance for the seekers that they use. This tunnel intersects with that, so you can cut them off potentially. And in that same string of tunnel, it goes into the sewer too. So this one is very important. This one and this one, I would say, are the most important probably. This one hasn't really been used, but the sewer is used a lot. This is so if the seekers are coming from the sewer to get into the hub, they would go here. And you can see that the Hunter Tunnel basically, that's where I just was. The Hunter Tunnel basically cuts that in half, so you can just cut through here, loop around, and then cut off seekers if they're coming from the sewer. That's pretty much all I'm going to show for the hub, because you could spend a long time talking about these Hunter Tunnels and showing them. Just there's several entrances, and they go in a ring shape around it. So that's fine. All right, now on to the other three main ones. So there is other than Castle Zack, the other three castles, so there's Zack, Jimmy, Jeff, and Larry. Other than Castle Zack, these other three all have a hunter tunnel that goes into them because they're a little more difficult to. Wait, no. What am I talking about? Sorry. I meant to say the lava fortress. I was thinking castles. So Zack and Jeff castles do not have hunter tunnels. Larry and Jimmy do have hunter tunnels, and the lava fortress is the third one. I just lumped it in with the castles on accident. So the three other hunter tunnels are going to be Jimmy, Larry, and lava fortress. Okay, we've got that clarified. So Jimmy, if you see a seeker go in here, then all you need to do is go in this tunnel right here, and obviously, like I said, it looks the same as before. You'll run super fast on this straightaway, and you can spam your jump button because this is only 2 blocks high. Then you'll come out this ladder, and you come right up into the room where the stone. So that's the stone itself, right there. And so you come right into it. You get to skip this entire tower all the way through this hallway. This is what the seekers have to do through the maze. Boom, into the stone. So you get to skip all of that as a hunter and run straight through that tunnel. So that one is incredibly powerful, incredibly useful. The other really, really good one of the three is Larry. This one is arguably more important, specifically because of all the gameplay surrounding Chessman and stuff. If you're watching this later, it is currently October 12th. So we have the Halloween decorations set up. So Chessman has his beautiful candy corn hat. It's gorgeous. Anyway, so if you go next to Chessman, you see a Hunter Tunnel entrance. And this will let you go straight into Larry. This one has a big straight section. Right, boom, right into Larry. This one is also really good. Well, it's good for the same reason as Jimmy, in that, well, obviously, one, it's a lot faster, but two, Jimmy and Larry both have notifications, title notifications, which I can demonstrate here. When you enter, they have a notification. So, you get to bypass this. I don't have my game sound on at the moment, but that's the one for Larry. And Jimmy has like a bunch of different ones because there's a bunch of different ways to get in. But there's always a notification unless you enter Pearl or whatever. So when you use the Hunter Tunnels, you also bypass that, so there's no indication that you've even come down here. So that's the other reason that Jimmy and Larry Hunter Tunnels are specifically very good. And then lastly, we have the Lava Fortress. So, this one, while there aren't necessarily notifications, although you have to use if you don't enter Pearl in, you have to use the space portals. There technically are notifications for using that, but there's nothing that directly suggests you are going to the Lava Fortress, technically. Although it can be kind of reasoned out. So you are still bypassing notifications, but not as directly. But anyway, so this one is here, and in my experience, I've used this one quite a bit now. In my experience, it's pretty much always worth doing this because you can get in and out pretty quickly. The times you want to do this are, one, if a seeker is in the Lava Fortress, obviously. Number two, even if they're going to get out, you want to get in here to turn the throne off if they've activated it. So the throne is right here, and that gives them fire resistance until you turn it off. The reason the fire resist, it's not that fire resistance is the most powerful effect in the game. It is very good. But the other thing about that is a lot of times the Seekers might get the Spire Stone and then they might swim out the lava. If they mess this parkour up to jump out, they might be swimming in the lava to escape. So if I'm a little Seeker here, I got fire protection from the throne because I'm so cool. It seems like the fire particle effect is really fast. Nah, maybe not. I'm just swimming along and I make it to this point, but uh-oh, the hunter just went in there and turned my throne off, so I don't have fire resistance now and I'm just gonna burn to death. So that's the other reason you want to do that. You don't want the Seekers to just have fire resistance. That's a little too helpful, especially for stuff like the Heck area. So anyway, the actual route is you go in. You would be much faster than I'm running right now. Then you have to go up this ring of stairs. You just go around in circles, basically. Spiral stairs. And then you go in here. This is one of the buttons for the teleporting item, by the way, which is arguably not worth getting at the moment, so just kind of ignore that. Although I do have a video on it, so watch that video. But you run this way. I guess you were paying attention to the route that I just took. Let me do it again. So right here, let's go all the way down the stairs. Don't go this way. Go through the door. This will be closed. So go through the door, down these stairs, then you go into the main hall. That's how you can access the throne. If the Seeker is getting the stone or something, then you can run to the stone, which is through this door, and it's just one way through that hallway. To get back out, you came through the third door on the left side. I reference facing the throne, so the left side doors, there's 4 on each side. That comes out the third one on the left. So to get back that way, you go up here, through here, and back up these stairs. Then you can go back out this way, which is where it came from. You can mostly jump down this. The fall damage is fine. I would alternate like that instead of jumping all the way down, but it's not that big of a deal. And then you can leave again. So you see how fast I was able to get in and out of there, basically. I mean, I was taking it slow also, but it's pretty fast. So it's not that much of a time commitment. So those are the 3. The hub tunnel, yes, those are good. But you really, really need to know about these three that I showed after that. So Jimmy, Larry, and Lava Fortress. Again, Jimmy and Larry both were really important because they also bypassed critical notifications as to player whereabouts. And Lava Fortress is more important just because it takes so long to get in here in the first place, and you can just zip right in there. Just so you know, this is the tunnel that we came up with the stairs. So that's physically where you are when you do that. All right, well, hopefully you guys can take that stuff to heart in your next game. Good luck.